No, I do not want any of that. Get that devil's greenery away from me.
You're an idiot.
That's also true. I'm not going to deny my idiocy. It's just who I am. It's what I
Have you ever
do.
used the packs?
I tried.
What do you mean you tried? It depends on what thing's on it, though.
Yeah.
This one's the flat lip, so it's really easy. I don't like the other one. The one that Javi has on his, I don't like.
It's weird. It feels weird on my mouth.
Yeah,
Kidding.
you gonna leave me here, and all I'm gonna do is fall asleep on the fucking couch.
Mm-hmm.
Knock the fuck out watching whatever the hell's on TV. I don't give a shit. Call me old man Wade.
Damn you, old man! Wait.
Old ass man.
Shut up, old man. You smell like fart.
No! Man!
Old man.
He's so old, he got a podcast on cassette.
Fuck, you're old.
Damn it, Wade!
And welcome to the Old Man Wade Show. I am your host, the God of Stub and the Lord of Laughter, Old Man Wade. I'm sitting here in my lovely life.
Hey.
With her normal enthusiasm as always. And to the left, we have the lovely lady. PandaGasms. Doing the damn thing. And apparently is a bad roller, which I didn't know until one of her episodes.
Yo, they clowned me. Did you hear how they clowned me on my
No,
own
I'm
show?
same.
They
Literally
clowned
every friend
me.
I have can roll. They're like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Legit clown. Oh, Mark, you listen. Thank you for listening. Thank you, old man Wade.
I tell people all the time, like, even if I don't listen, I'm still going to share. I'm still going to support. Because realistically, like, it costs me nothing to share something. It costs me nothing to promote a friend of mine who I'm proud of. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you're supposed to do with somebody else. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Some, like I say all the time, it's like, hey, listen to her podcast, PandaGasms, and also make sure you follow her. Like,
That's
you know
it.
What I mean? Like,
that's all it takes.
You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really cost much. And like, certain people don't like. My wife doesn't listen to the show, but she'll tell
I don't
people.
listen to podcasts at all.
But you'll still share it. You'll still tell people about it. Like, you support my podcast and you support my writing. Like, you know what I mean? That's really all it comes down to. And I don't think people really get the concept of like how easy it is just to like
support.
Shout. Yeah, you know
support
what I mean?
Is free.
Yeah.
Free.
Yeah, but you know, people are people, so that is what it is. So you're back from showing your titties in New Orleans.
Wow, you just put it all out there in the middle of an inhale too.
Damn.
No warning. No.
Damn. With
like,
all your little shit.
Like y'all,
put
like
out on air for everybody.
I mean, does it really matter though in the grand scheme of things?
Yeah.
Do you want me to erase that you out there showing your titties?
No. I earned my beads how I earned my beads. YOLO.
I ain't knocking you for it.
I'm not knocking me for it either. And whoever wants to knock me can suck my dick because don't none of y'all pay my bills.
There you go. I don't know why I find it funny when a woman says suck my dick.
I don't know.
I find it fucking hilarious when a woman says that.
Sometimes we got bigger balls than some of these men. So you shouldn't find it funny.
That's problematic. You shouldn't say that.
I said some. I was nice.
I'm just saying it's problematic and you shouldn't say these things.
I said some.
Okay.
And it is what it is. My son even said that. I was coming down the back stairs one day and I saw my mother's door open. So I'm like, who the fuck is in my mother's house? So my son goes, so you weren't going to like stop and pause and wait. You're just going to come full force in the house. I was like, yeah.
It's my mother.
Right. Who's in my mother's house? You absolutely right. I'm coming up in here full force. He was like, what if there were two men in here? You was going to just try to take them off?
I die.
For my mama? You
Yeah.
absolutely right. I'm coming in.
I say that all the time. If I die, I die. I'm not going to back down. And they're
like, really? He's like, you're worse than three men. I'm like, thank you. I take that as a compliment.
But like my thing about it is, it's like also the idea of, I tell people all the time, like if someone comes running in this house, they better hope I'm the one who stops them. Because if my wife catches them, you're gonna die.
Oh, yeah,
like
no.
she's going
I'm
to kill
stabbing you in the throat.
Like you know what I mean? I'm just gonna beat you, choke you out, and tie you up and call the cops. My wife's gonna kill you. Like
Probably.
You know what I mean? She felt threatened, therefore you're dead. So just if you try, just let it be known that you better stop with me, because you get past me, you're kind of fucked in this situation. Yeah, so that's pretty much how that goes. Like that's just how it goes. So this is something I've actually been dying to talk about. Me and Valkyrie have had this conversation a million times, but the Kanye West conversation, considering like he's a dick. And do you what do you know about him, Panda? I have to make sure before I get into this.
Listen, all I know, he's married to that Kardashian girl. They're going through hard times. Might be getting a divorce. and he
I
got
thought
mad
they were
money.
already divorced.
Are they divorced
I
already?
think so.
I don't know.
He already has a new boo.
He do?
Yeah, I forget what her name
Kanye?
is. Who is it? It's somebody. Like, I can't remember.
Nobody I give a shit about. Let me
Man,
tell you
I'm
that right
so oblivious to the outside world. I was just telling a good friend of mine today. I was like, look, I really fucking live in a bubble. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, I forget that all this shit happens out in this world because ignorance is bliss. I stay away from a lot of the shit that's going on in the world so I can stay happy and at peace. So I don't know
I
anything about
forget
Kanye.
why I know this.
Arena
Though.
Shake. I don't know who that is. I don't give a fuck who this. So, but I want to bring it up because he has a new album coming out that I'm not going to listen to. I haven't listened to his last 3 projects because
Oh, this
because
is what everybody's talking about. The
so
one with Jay-Z?
yeah, I don't really. I only reason I even heard the song was because they happened to play it on Joe Budden. But I'm not going to listen to it. I don't give a fuck about it. And honestly, fuck Kanye West. Like everyone, and so the reason I bring this up and it's so fresh in my head, someone on Instagram posted a bunch of stuff that makes a lot of sense, and one of them that really stuck out was I don't know how wide or narrow the space should be for someone to be held accountable and be given grace, but wearing the red hat, going to the White House to support Trump, alleging slavery was a choice, and praising Candace Owens is enough for me to tap out.
So there is supporting somebody's mental health, and then this isn't. You don't decide to become a Trump supporter because you're depressed. You don't decide
You don't say
there has
slavery
to
is a
be
choice.
some accountability,
Exactly.
right? Like he's choosing this. This is who he is. If somebody shows you their colors, it's their colors. Like I don't get how people. I mean, if you're schizophrenic, you don't all of a sudden start like wearing MAGA hats and telling black people slavery was a choice.
Which was
I just don't know if I buy that it's all just mental illness or all just how he feels.
Well, it could be how he feels because he has a mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to say I agree, but
I don't know. I never really took time out to even think about it, to process it. I just, I don't know.
So I understand your point. I think my biggest issue is like that's not how he started. He started being like the super pro black person and like you know what I mean. George Bush don't care about black people, and then all of a sudden,
remember that shit.
and then all of a sudden he's like hugging Trump and like not paying his gospel singers and offering them Yeezys instead of payments and like all this nasty shit. And it's like, and then like he puts out a good song. It's like, oh, we can forgive him now. It's like, really?
Because today's day and age, everything is a trend.
Yes.
Nobody's solid with anything. Are you kidding? This is why I don't care about nothing that goes on in the media because they're gonna be mad at him for this. Like you said, he did whatever he did. He said whatever he said. He put something out that's hot. Forget what he just did. I don't get why people care so much. I'm telling you, he's gonna be the next big thing until he does something stupid again.
Yeah.
Then they're gonna hate him again. Then they're gonna love him again. And at the end of the day, he's still gonna be richer than all of us. So I don't.
Do you know the reason? I think the reason I care as much as I do is because he puts out a false narrative that actually like hurts me. Because like.
But why does it hurt you?
He says to be a mental health advocate, right?
Right.
But then talks about but then does nothing about it. It's like, okay, what are you doing about it? Well, I have mental health issues. Okay, what are you doing about it?
What do you want him to do?
If he says he has mental health issues and the stuff that he doesn't feel a certain way, then do something about it. Don't make excuses for the things that you do. Like you know what I mean? Like 1 minute you're like slavery was a choice. It's like we were slaves for 300 years. That sounds like a choice. Nigga, what? Like, you know what I mean? It's shit like that. And then you get these fucking people who look at me and it's just like, well, mental health. So like, it's like as a black man with mental health who's actually doing something about his issues, like I'm held accountable. The conversation I just had with Demi a little while ago. Mm-hmm. You made a really good point about the false equivalence to Britney Spears and Kanye West. I took the post down, had a conversation with Demi and was just like, no, you and Maria are right. And then took it back because it's like that's what you're supposed to do when you make a mistake. You own up for it. You apologize. You try to do better the next time around.
Well, it's not.
He's doing none of that.
I'll talk to you about that afterwards. I don't think you made a mistake. It was just two different viewpoints of the same thing.
We can talk about it later.
But you can have.
You can, but I also think that. But I don't think it's. I think you guys are right just because like I understood the point and I also understood the false equivalency to the two, like you know.
To Britney Spears and Kanye.
Yes, there's a false equivalency to it, and I just don't do that. And maybe I should have a better. not caring about stuff like that because
Yeah.
Panda's right. Like it doesn't really affect me at all. But I think it does because it's like I'm looking at another black man who's making me look bad as another black man. Like you know
But
what I mean?
he's choosing his choices. You see how his choices
Listen, Kanye West has always been a piece of shit. I don't know why people are surprised that he's being a piece of shit.
So hold on, free Britney. But I
Yes.
don't really know much about Kanye. I don't know. I feel like after his mom passed, it triggered something.
I don't think it necessarily triggered something. I think his mom made
Was
him
his
take
low
care of
point?
himself.
Right, and then after that, it was it.
And then now he has nobody. He
Yeah.
married fucking Kim Kardashian, probably gave whatever. I don't know their personal situation, but
So yeah, I don't know.
I feel like he had a mental health crisis and he just didn't have the right people to support him and help him and
But I think it
get
goes
him
to
the
that
help
goes
he
to that thing
needed.
when you have people who are around you who just don't really give a shit because it's like when you don't have like okay, I have a great circle. When I'm fucking up, I have people who will tell me I'm fucking up in specific ways that will help me get out of whatever funk that I'm in. If I want someone to be completely blunt about something, I got you, I got Panda, I got Lavelle. If I don't want any punches thrown, if I need someone to be nice about it, I can, you know what I mean, and ask questions.
You're like, I'm not coming to you.
No, but I can still come to you, and I can still come to Panda in certain situations like that. Because I've also had situations where both of you have been like, all right, do you want my honest truth or do you want me to kick? Like you both said things in like that nature when like and plus you also know
I ask you, do you need me to listen to you vent or do you want my opinion?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but same shit.
Nah,
No,
not
that's
even
different.
because I'm not sugarcoating.
You sugarcoated some things for me though a few times.
I don't
But you know
sugarcoat it.
how you know where I'm at.
I know how to communicate with who. That's what it is. I know people's levels of handling a conversation.
Yeah. And what they can handle at what time.
I know how aggressive I can be in a conversation with someone depending on what space they're in. So if I know you're at your lowest, I'm not going to be like, motherfucking did it.
Yeah.
No.
I'm telling you everything you've done wrong your whole life.
That part of my attack is going to be sugar-coated, but I'm still going to be coming at you like,
all right,
yo.
so sugar-coated maybe the wrong word.
I would say it's coming from a different position. That's all.
Yeah, I agree. That's all.
The whole.
If you would have fell, I would have laughed my fucking ass off. You would have busted your ass.
We all would have laughed if.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I almost busted my ass on that thing once.
2 people fell, and we did like we was like.
Fuck that.
But yeah, so I don't know. Like I think with that guy, it's just a whole like different issue. And what is that?
Oh, what's in the cup?
Oh, it's wine. It's helping my hangover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you should have had a Corona. Coronas help hangovers.
Oh, no, wine's good.
No, I was just laughing because he's like, I'm not drinking today.
That part. That part.
All of a sudden, I looked over. I was like,
what are your thoughts on Kanye, sir?
Be completely honest.
Kanye has not been the same since Donda died.
Oh my God!
Literally every person in the world
just said that.
His mama took care of him, and then now he's fucked.
I'll take it a step further.
None of these bitches are helping him.
Thing where his conscience is I paid for my mother's murder. Like it was a botched surgery, wasn't like she getting some surgery done.
Yeah, she did.
So that's why it's even bigger. Like he put this money up for her to get that. So that's a whole nother level of so we
him maybe he is being too accountable because
Jay-Z bought a car for his nephew. His nephew crashed.
Yeah, and he's still
responsible for that. You know.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Died in the car I bought.
Yeah.
Under the impression falsely my fault. Yeah.
Lost ones.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna take it a step further because Kanye was still okay-ish when he was with what's her name? Amber Rose. But I think it's a matter of someone who will call you out on the shit you're going through. Like, you know what I mean? And then so I think a lot of goes to it, like, you know, do you have someone who holds you accountable for your actions and stuff like that? Now, I don't put him like I don't rock with him, right? I'm not listening to another album. I'm cool, but he's not. But he's not R. Kelly. He's not fucking Bill Cosby. You know what I mean? So like, I'm not just gonna be like, you listen to Kanye West, go fuck yourself. So like on some shit like that. But I personally just can't rock with him because of that. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. But I understand people who say, well, he has these issues. We should give him a chance. It's like, I've given him chances. Like, I just, like, me personally, I'm cool. Like, don't go out there, and I hate using this word, but don't go out there and hug Trump and then coon it all up and then tell me that slavery was a choice.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Without knowing like certain things. But again, I'm lucky enough that like my parents may not have been the greatest, but they made it a point to let me know a lot of the historical facts that came with slavery. How like there were more than just a few revolts. About how like in Haiti, like that was one of the first, if not the first, black slave revolt, successful slave revolt.
Yes,
like you know
sir.
what I mean? Like they like those people in England tried these like nah, bruh, and they just gave up. Like that's how they was like y'all can have that. You know what I mean? So I'm lucky enough to have that, like, to see that. So I think that's why it hurts me even more, is because like I know my history,
Right.
and especially now that their information is out there. So if you want to know these things, you can learn them. So for him to say it was a choice, like nah, we tried. It wasn't just Harriet Tubman. Like you know what I mean? Oh, I also did find a fun fact about her. Somebody was reading Dick Gregory's book, and I think it was either her brother, her cousin, or somebody like that was going to leave and go back. And like, you know what I mean? So if a slave goes back and it's like, well, where are the rest of the people escaping at? She put a gun to him and was like, you're going. That's some G shit.
Yeah.
So, Valkyrie, you have anything, you've never liked Kanye, so there's that.
No, I never liked Kanye.
But you're also...
There was just something about him. I just thought he was an asshole.
Yeah.
He seems like he's awfully full of himself. And I just don't, that's not something I vibe with.
He might be a Leo. No, sir.
Is he? I mean, I'm a Leo, but...
I'm kidding.
Right.
I mean,
Leo.
whatever.
I was throwing jabs at that Leo.
Talk your shit.
I was throwing jabs at that Leo.
Whatever.
But that's okay. I fuck with y'all. I fuck with y'all. Y'all got big
I don't know.
dick
He
energy.
just seems self-absorbed and like
He might
like
be
he's
a
a
Leo.
dick.
When is
He
his
might be a
birthday?
Leo.
I'm
You
looking
know
it up.
what? Because
I'm
he
actually-
does have big
Nah,
dick
he-
energy.
He
might be a
does,
Leo.
right?
I think his birthday couple. I want to say it was recent.
Da, 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 da. I'm
Oh, is
trying
he
to
one of
find it.
yours?
Oh no, he's a Taurus. June 8th.
Makes sense.
I know.
They they got big
No.
dick energy too.
Is that a Taurus or a Gemini?
Gemini's the
The twin.
bipolar ones. The Taurus
what is
is the
June 8th?
bull. June 8th is the Gemini.
Yeah, so he's a Gemini. Yeah, actually typed in June 8th and it just literally just goes in zodiac sign and he's a Gemini. So
Anyway,
two niggas bipolar.
that works too.
Yeah, so it is what it is.
All right, old man. What else we got on the docket today?
Before I go, do you have anything you want to get off your chest? Something you want to say? Like you angry about something? Like you want to someone pissing you off?
No, I'm in
I
total.
You got that?
Texas.
I'm in total.
What is going on with this bullshit trying to take Martin Luther King and everything outside of the curriculum?
Oh,
And then them trying to make
I know what
the
you're talking
KKK and not
Yeah.
seem to be morally wrong. You don't know nothing about that?
yeah. It's so
You don't?
I'm oblivious to a lot of shit.
Yeah,
I
Texas
was
is
just
trying
telling
to
Mark
pass a
and
law
Maria how I live in a bubble and I really don't know about a lot of stuff that's going on because I like being happy. And
all right.
it sounds crazy, but I do. So, no, I'm in total bliss and I'm not upset about anything.
So we got here ABC News. It goes, Martin Luther King Jr., the KKK, and more may soon be cut from the Texas education requirements. Some lessons on civil rights movements, white supremacy, and women's suffrage movement and Martin Luther King may be soon cut from Texas's public education requirements, according to the legislation being considered in the state. One of several bills targeting critical race theory around the country. The Texas Senate has passed Senate Bill 3 in a continued effort to prescribe education on the racial inequality in K-12 education. It removes several education code lessons requirement that are proposed, and Democrats. Okay, this is. I'm trying to find the stuff where it actually matters, but like basically they're trying to put it up that the KKK isn't a hate group. The civil rights movement wasn't a race thing.
Oh.
So these are the things they're trying to take out of the curriculum of.
So, how do they stop that?
People have to vote. People have to like go in there like when like we have like the local election stuff like that. You have to know who you're putting in.
In office.
The problem is people don't really do local elections. Texas is a predominantly red state.
Right. So it's probably gonna pass.
Possibly.
Oh,
But it's fucking Texas. But
right.
it's funny.
I was just about to say, but it's Texas. What y'all expected something different?
But what is it? Austin and Dallas are supposed to be super progressive parts of Texas. It's like one of the fastest growing uh, not fastest growing, people are moving there at an increasing rate. Excuse me.
Okay,
The
the
community
population is growing fast.
yeah. So sorry, I could not get the fucking words out.
Mhm.
So that's gonna be so. Those two cities can't do it all. Houston's a piece of shit. You got Beaumont, like places like that where like you can still get pulled over for being black and then have drugs thrown in your car. Like you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's bad. Like we talk about it being bad up here. Like it's bad.
We were just talking about sundown towns today.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's some nasty shit. Would someone like to explain what a sundown town is?
A sundown town is pretty much a town where black people should not be when the sun goes down.
Yep. You will be killed, murdered, raped, hung. Well,
Name
that's
it.
another thing. I love that like lynching laws aren't really a national thing.
Right.
Like that's nasty. This whole country sucks.
Yeah.
This shit's wild. We're getting deterred though, so let's get
Mark's
back
like
on
off
track.
on a tangent.
Yeah,
He's caught
let's
up.
get back on track. Driving after the pandemic.
I don't drive, but I know Maria's about to lose her fucking mind because people forgot how to fucking drive in this shit.
I don't. So you gotta remember, people was locked up for a year, so
No.
they're out now.
They're out doing reckless ass
They are
shit.
doing reckless shit. 'Cause I've
Reckless.
been saying the same thing. That's why I go
Fucking
home.
reckless.
I stay home.
Even on the highway, right? People are all the way over in the passing lane going like 50 miles an hour. Like
Yeah,
big.
it's
I'm like,
crazy.
what is happening right now? Did we forget the rules? Like,
I'll watch.
you're not
I'll
even doing the
watch
speed
people-
limit.
I'll watch people driving. I'm like, whoa.
Like doing crazy
How?
shit.
What? I'm like, oh, damn. I be having a whole like anime going for the people driving. I'm their surround sound. I'm their audio in the background.
I can't.
If it was a movie,
You
I'm the
narrating?
soundtrack to the way these people drive. So that's why I get up early in the morning, do everything I need to do, and get back home. Because all that driving out there with those crazy folks, no man.
I was saying that to Mark. I hate
They're
leaving my house
lit
now
out
because
there.
I hate people. People became more ignorant, more intolerant. Like the driving sucks.
So I found a
Rude.
healthy balance of both, to be honest with you, depending where I am.
Depends on where you are, yeah.
Depending where I am, I've had a healthy balance of both, where I got a lot of people that are really aggressive. So they're kind of like, ran, ran, ran. I'm like, ooh, baby, do you need a hug? Like, I brush everything off like, ooh, don't do that. You got to smile a lot of shit off. People are angry for several other reasons, and it don't got nothing to do with me.
Touche.
So I don't take it on. And then I find the other people that are in love with life like me, and I'm like, hey, oh my God. Because, we've been locked up for a whole goddamn year, ain't seen people. So now that we get to see people, we're excited as shit.
No.
So we sit there, and I got a new best friend for like 20 minutes, and I'm okay with that because that's all I needed to fill my cup for that moment.
Fair.
So this pandemic has been lit.
I'm
with this shit.
So
Shut it the fuck back down if you ask me, because damn it,
I
the ticket prices was cheap as fuck. I
Oh,
got
yeah.
to travel all over this bitch while y'all motherfuckers was in the house. I had whole rows of a plane to myself. Shut the shit down. Lock these motherfuckers back up. The pandemic was beautiful. Shut it down. Flights was like $60 round trip. Get y'all asses back home. I liked outside when y'all was inside. Now that everybody's outside, I'm inside because this shit ain't it. You're right. People did get crazy after the pandemic.
No,
and I'm one of them.
they're just-
And so let me just say this episode is going to be called "Titties for Beads." Shut it down. But like that brings us to the next topic, like growth in the fucking pandemic.
Listen.
The first few months of that shit, I was losing my goddamn mind because
Me
all I
too.
could do was go to and from work. My wife's going crazy because she can't go anywhere and she's stuck in the house. And thankfully, she had the dog there to hang out with because like we'd come home, hang out for a little while. We couldn't go on dates. We couldn't go to the fucking movies. Like we couldn't do anything. And it's like I was like literally home, TV, bed, repeat. Like you know what I mean? She's like stuck with me. Like it was like we were just stuck next to each other and on top of each other. And we're not a couple that likes to do that. Like you know what I mean? She has her friends. I have my friends. We have mutual friends. And we couldn't even go see them. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? So it was,
Right.
oh God, it was not.
Then it's like you see everything your partner. See, you were by yourself. You got to
Who?
breathe. I mean, you had your children. That must have been.
Who was by herself?
You weren't dating
Having
anybody
the kids
then.
had same thing as having a partner. Are you kidding?
But then every little thing is I know it's probably worse.
It's the same thing. It's legit the same
But I'm
shit.
saying-
The only difference, we got our own bedrooms. That's the only difference. I could go in my room and lock that door. They could go in their room, and that's
and then
it.
you're separated. But like
But-
every little thing was like extra annoying. Extra.
They're kids. They're already extra
Extra
annoying. So imagine them. Listen. We ain't gonna talk about them kids.
We ain't
in
gonna
the
talk about Murder
pandemic.
Inc.
We ain't gonna talk about them kids during this pandemic because I work with them. I can't afford my business.
But you
Yeah.
like kids though. That's the thing about it.
I do. I love kids. I don't always like them. I love kids. There's a difference.
There's
I
that-
love
there's
the shit out of
absolutely-
kids.
I like a lot of people, but I don't love them.
I love kids.
No, actually, I got it backwards. I love some people. I don't like it.
Right. There's a lot of but so my kids are funny though because this house is pure comedy. There's not a moment in this house that I'm like, shit, I wish I had a YouTube channel because you motherfuckers is nuts. It ain't me, it's y'all. So this house is pure comedy and entertainment. So it wasn't really that bad. The beginning of it was only bad for me because I like to be with people.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody was scared. I'm like, what are we afraid of? Yo, I've been around you forever. But I get it. People had their hang-ups. I didn't knock it. I just tried to figure this shit out on my own. And I was like, all right, fuck it. And I just started going places by myself. And that, for me, was the biggest thing because I was never a person to go out alone. So that was my growth during the pandemic. I go anywhere now. I be hopping in my car. My kids be like, where you going? I'll be back. And I'm out. I'll be gone for hours. I could go anywhere alone by myself now. I'll book a ticket and fly. So my friends be like, you went where? You didn't invite me? Oh, I didn't. Sorry. Like, it's crazy how I love now just doing shit by myself. I'm not waiting for nobody for nothing.
So you learned a lot. You feel
A
like,
lot.
through the whole thing.
Absolutely a lot. I was losing my fucking mind. I was like, damn, I can't sit in the bar. When they didn't have the liquor store open, I was like, good thing I got my own stash. And then when the liquor store was considered essential, motherfucker, you right. That shit is essential. They should have never touched the liquor store. Are you kidding me?
Motherfuckers are going crazy without that.
Yo, because I get it. Some people took the alcohol and went left with it, but this sister here was going the right way with all the spirits. Don't take them away.
All the spirits. I see what you did there.
No, you just
But,
have a couple of cups or something. Like
that's all you need. Listen, I painted 3 rooms in the house during the pandemic. I grew plant babies during the pandemic.
You found yourself during the pandemic.
I found myself during the pandemic. Listen, the pandemic was lit. Shut this shit the fuck down.
I wanna
Everybody
talk
go
about
back home. I need them plane tickets to be cheap again.
I want to talk about that, like your
Dead
growth and, like,
ass.
finding yourself during this.
Oh, I found, man, the point of my life where I'm at right now is kind of scary because I've just been eliminating everything if it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, if it, we've talked about that.
we talk about that a lot, like excluding people, even family. I talk about it all the
It's
time.
not-
I keep my family at a distance for whatever reason because it's toxic and it makes me toxic. So
Right. So for me, it's not even like a love loss type thing. It's just you move in a certain way that doesn't
Work for you.
move with me. So
Yeah.
we can't move together. And that's okay. You don't have to change your ways. You're just not going to move like that with me. And that's all right. I see you when I see you.
Like, yeah, like I remember when me and my mother first started having our issues. My grandmother, her mother, said to me, if she isn't adding anything to your life, then why do you, like, you don't have to speak to them. You don't have to speak to your mother if you don't want to. Like, you're not obligated to do that. She goes, she was like, if she's just being horrible to you, then why do you keep banging your head up against the wall? And I didn't get it for a while. And then one day I was like, yeah, I'm cool. I just stopped because it really was adding. It wasn't. Not only was it not adding anything to my life, it was subtracting. I was losing all this energy. I was losing like my happiness. I was losing my joy just being around her, seeing how like negative and toxic she was to my little brother and sister and to my father, like all these negative claims. And the last straw, and I said this on the show before, was her trying to besmirch my wife's name by calling her a thief. And then my father going, oh, it was a joke. She likes to joke like that. Fuck you. That's not funny to me.
Nah, that shit
In what world is that shit funny? Go fuck yourself. You know what I mean?
shit, I wish I stole things.
So like I had to cut some people off. Like there was times like there were just people that like who had a major impact on my life that I just don't speak to anymore. Like, you know
And
what I mean?
that's
Or
okay.
like, I was like, I need to keep you at a distance now.
Hmm.
Like, there are friends now that I'm realizing is like, we don't vibe on the same level. And I had this conversation with my therapist. It's not a matter of me and this person growing apart. It's just a matter of us going in two different directions. Because I don't want to make it seem like I've outgrown them, nor have they outgrown me. We're just on two different paths right now. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It doesn't make it right or wrong. It's just me personally. It's just like, yo, I can't rock with you. I can't vibe with you. Like, so I don't want what you're doing to be looked at as something that I'm okay with.
And 9 times out of 10, they usually feel the same way you do. It's the connection is no longer there, and that's okay.
Yeah. And like, it's perfectly fine. Like, I'm necessarily into, like, I actually had to take a break from some of my group threads recently. I left the chats and was just like, yo, and hit a couple of my friends. I was like, I'm just letting you know, like, I just don't really want
I
to
don't
say
even
anything.
answer chats half of the time.
But I didn't even want to see. I didn't even want to see like the text. I didn't even want to see it. And I
It's
just
too
left.
much.
And I was like, yo, I just can't really be with these group threads right now because I'm gonna say something fucked up because I'm in my feelings right now. But like, you know what I mean? I'm aware of. I try to be aware of my emotions, and that was one of those times when I was aware that I was gonna say something fucked up, and I didn't want that to happen. So I just left. Like, you know what I mean? I came back in a few days, and
Hey, I can
dealt with
respect
to
it.
deal with.
I can absolutely respect that. You got to put you first at all times.
But yeah, so that's just how I do. You over there quiet, like you keep going.
Oh, now I'm hearing y'all. I'm just listening.
You don't have no input, no say so,
No nada.
no say when you play.
I mean,
Y'all like my bars?
you
I
know,
got
Not
bars,
even
y'all.
a little bit. Keep them bars to yourself.
Hater,
I'll be that.
hater. No, but for you don't have anything to add to that.
Like, how do you deal with people when you're just like, oh, I can't deal
Not
with this
even
anymore?
that. The topic was
Right?
growth during the
Listen,
pandemic.
you
no,
got
we-
him
but-
contact.
you
Do
know-
you understand?
The topic was growth during the pandemic.
You know my
Situation.
situation where I was,
I mean, I
taking a
might, but
state
they don't.
funded
So that's up to
vacation.
you if you want to
I-
share that or not.
well,
If you don't, you can
yeah,
tell us
absolutely
mind the
don't.
business that
I
pays y'all.
unfortunately had to take a state-funded vacation,
Shit
and
happens.
Yeah.
due to quarantining, I had to spend 21 days in solitary confinement, which I loved. I didn't want to go to the. I like being by myself. I don't like humans. I like animals.
Same.
Yeah.
I like animals and plants.
Literally, like, that's
Right.
wife started growing, like, has plants now. We have
I'm
like
not
two
even gonna
two
tense
dogs
this
in the house. And,
fucking
like,
shade being thrown.
Yeah. So what? What do you mean? Wait, what shade? I didn't throw no shade. What
Yeah.
star beings like humans? We just get along with the people.
Mhm.
What? We're all star beings. Well, the melanin.
Nobody
that's-
caught the shade
no,
What I
missed
said.
it.
What, he don't like people?
that he only likes
Animals.
animals.
Right.
Look at she's trying to make it something.
What a-
Stop it.
What?
She's like, you don't like me? I'm a human.
No, I am a panda.
Oh
Shut
my
up.
God.
I can't.
I knew she was going
Listen,
there.
right? She's
I
one
wasn't
to 10
entertaining the
steps
bullshit.
away from.
Yo,
Shut up.
Amanda, stop making fetch happen. Stop trying to make fetch happen.
I
Fetch is
was-
not gonna.
Watch.
I wasn't entertaining.
That was
Ah.
a jab. He was throwing jabs at me.
No.
He was
Okay.
throwing jabs at
But he
me.
literally said all he likes is animals and
And
plants.
plants. And what do I like? Plants. And you know what plant he's talking about? Mary Jane.
But that don't make any sense. I mean, that would mean he's complimenting you.
Which is right. He's throwing it out there. He's trying to put it in the atmosphere.
That's not shade.
Yes, it's low key like
Oh my god.
it's low key.
You see how she-
That's how that's AKA going in the DM. What he just did.
So
I can't stand you.
I don't agree with you, Amanda, but I'm gonna ride with her because she's.
That's what that was. That's what that was. That was
You're
a
right.
low
You're
key
absolutely right.
down in the
You
DM.
got me.
That's what
Yeah,
that
I am
was. That was a
exposed.
down in the
Look at
DM
me.
moment.
That was
Spotlight.
down.
That was.
right on.
Yeah.
You got
You
it.
have to understand. I've known him for 25 years, so I know how to read in between the lines.
Oh my goodness.
I can't. She just made a whole story. Is this how
Right.
it happened?
Like this.
Is this how it happened?
I
What
should
happened
get all
to my
that
head?
from my 21 days in solitary confinement.
No,
I'm doing
He's
shot
like, should I go back?
No. We was talking about you liking plants and animals. I was stuck on that.
Leave it
I
to a
didn't
woman to
even
make it
get
about
to your
themselves.
confinement yet.
Wow.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
He said something about toes.
No, I said nothing about the toes.
Oh,
Yeah, it was about toes. Yep, run with that.
anyway,
It was about toes.
all right.
She
Your
gonna-
solitary
I'm gonna get
confinement.
punched
I
for it later.
apologize.
I'm gonna get
Go
punched for
ahead.
a library later.
Let's do this. Go ahead. Your solitary confinement on your state-funded trip.
But there was a lot of growth in there. I met a lot of interesting individuals. A lot of guys. I felt like I was in Connecticut at the time. I felt like the state of Connecticut was really just using the pandemic as like a cash cow. Cause like,
oh yeah,
the more people, like, I had one guy I was in there with. This dude was in there before me, and he was in there for a crack pipe. And then when he called his lawyer, the lawyer's like, "We don't even have your record in the system." They let him out that day. I'm like, dude, you've been sitting here with me every day. You're an innocent man. You don't even have a case. Like, but you didn't get the, like, they watch the news every day. You didn't get the memo that people with nonviolent offenses were the first ones to go. Like, I would have been on top of my lawyer, like, yo, nonviolent, I mean, paraphernalia, let me out of here. But
yeah, but the problem is, and me and Valkyrie have talked about this a million times. Like, there's money in the prison system, so that's really all it comes down to. Because like, listen, state-funded prisons are not state-funded. Private prisons are the most garbage thing in the world, because it's like we get money based on how many prisoners you have in there, and people don't even think, like, that sentence alone is fucking disgusting.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean. And there's no real room for rehabilitation. Don't get me wrong. If you're a rapist, you can go fuck yourself.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean.
Right.
But like, imagine going to prison for something. It's like you can't go to jail. It's like, well, it's supposed to be a rehabilitation thing.
Right.
You're not rehabilitating anybody. You're not giving them a skill that's gonna help humanity. You're just like, go to prison. That's it. Like, you know what I mean? So what is a person supposed to do when they come out? Like, you know what I mean? It's literally a carousel. Like, you know what I mean? You're just going around in a circle. You go out.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So like, there are certain crimes where, like I said, like, if you do some shit and you're caught doing that shit, like that, like those douchebag, like, mass shooters,
right?
I got no remorse for you. You shot up a church,
right?
But burn it, like, die in a fire. Like, you
honestly,
you shot up a church full of like peaceful people.
The way you feel about that is the way I feel about the average hood dude that would shoot up a park with innocent kids and hit an old lady.
I agree 1,000%.
They're on that level with me. Like, I have no type of like it's a burning path. I don't know. I don't know if in my past life something happened and I seen it. Like, I just have a burning. Like, I hate that. But if you're a gangster, you call yourself a gangster. You gonna risk this murder? Walk up, put one in his head. Don't hit no innocent lady, no grandmother like that. At that point, I feel like the same way they feel like snitches should be taken care of. I feel like dudes who kill innocent people should be done.
I don't think people understand the concept of what snitching is in general. If me and you do a crime,
right,
and I tell,
right,
that's snitching.
But if you're a regular civilian, you have nothing to do with street life,
that's not snitching. You're doing what you're supposed to do in your community.
Was meant for you.
Yes, exactly. Like, you know what I mean, it's people are
right.
nasty. People are nasty fucks, and I really can't. I really wish me and my wife were recording when we started talking about the privatized prisons, because a lot of points were being made when we were talking about how nasty it is and like things of that nature.
Yeah, there was actually there was two stocks that I knew that were predominantly for prison, and I guess the guy's name is Michael Jordan. Everybody was like, "Oh, Michael Jordan owns..." No, not the black Michael Jordan, the basketball player, but some other white man named Michael Jordan actually owns one of the companies that have the top stocks in the prison industrial. System, yeah. But back to what I was.
Hold on, I'm pausing
it.
Oh.
All right. Yeah. Back to the topic of myself. State-funded vacation. There was a lawsuit that actually went down while I was in there, and the inmates were up on it. They had people coming and talking to them. And, I mean, guys really thought that maybe there was going to be some type of compensation because they was doing guys dirty. Like, the COs weren't coming in with masks on. They were coming with corona. They were spreading the corona to inmates in there. Like, it was like these dudes were literally trying to kill us in there. Like, they're not giving us the resources we need. We're not giving visits. We have no contact with the outside world. It took them forever to even get us to the yard to get some sunlight. You know what I mean? Like, it was like some real refugee camp crazy situation. So The lawsuit, we thought it was gonna be money, man. Yo, they gave every inmate in the jail a care package. That was the lawsuit. It was a big thing of VO5 shampoo, of Colgate thing, basically shit that you get commissary. They gave it to you. This is the same stuff you get in commissary.
But you don't got to pay for it now. Ta-da! Here you go. Somebody had to pay for that to get there.
But isn't that like
So-
general
Y'all
necessity?
poisoning
though?
me with these CEOs are coming in, risking my health, my free, and I'm only worth VO5 shampoo.
Absolutely.
I don't even
It's
have
99.
fucking hair.
That's okay. You got some on your face and on your ass crack, probably, right?
On
So
your
there's
ass
that.
crack.
So first of all, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna be that guy. You're in jail. You're not supposed to get shit.
Got a point.
So get in
Listen,
fucking.
no.
So get in fucking
Whoa,
VO5. I
hold
mean,
on,
that's
hold
Dollar
on,
Tree
hold
shit.
on. Listen,
You should be happy.
Listen.
We got you some VO5.
it's a sentence, not a death sentence.
It's not a
I
right.
still
It
have
is
to
a
come back to
sentence.
society. There
You
was
are.
guys who
I understand that.
took the corona
But I'm
test
just
and were
taking the
getting
flip
and were
side.
going home the next
I'm
day.
just
They have
playing
to go home
devil's-
to their family. You're not putting me
I'm
at
just
risk.
putting devil's advocate.
Yeah, no, I know
I
you
get your
are.
point. I'm just being a dickhead.
That was it. I know.
I'm
you
just
have to
being
give
that
me-
guy.
You just have to give me a hard
I'm
time.
just being just check. There we go. With the jabs.
Mhm.
Hard times all day. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yes, you go.
For the love of God.
You know what? Fuck my state funded vacation on that. On that note, I'm free. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. Because I can't with this lady.
Valkyrie, what the fuck just happened?
I don't know.
We just took over. It just.
My bad, old man Wade. I'm sorry.
See, here goes Amanda with her Amanda ring.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Amanda's just a mandarin. I'm putting that shit on a shirt.
Is
And
anyone-
don't none of you motherfuckers take my statement. I said what I
Is
said.
anyone wine left? What
That
the-
just,
what the
yeah,
fuck
that
is going
just,
on?
I don't
This
even
is
know
so
what
petty.
happened.
But yeah, that's how I feel about that. I was
Yeah.
just being that guy. My bad.
Yeah, but nah, it's Valkyrie. What you learn from the pandemic?
I learned that I hate people. I hate peopling. I only like who I like because, like
You like your
Amanda was
bubble.
saying, I like being in a bubble with happiness and good people. I'm learning more so now further on to be less angry. But I was also going through a lot of shit during the pandemic, outside of the pandemic with my health. So it was like a double negative all at the same time.
Yeah.
Like I was in school, I was working 40 hours a week, I was treating an illness I had just started treating. Like I was in the middle, I was taking fucking 60 milligrams of prednisone every day, which makes you angry and crazy. Steroids.
Oh,
like I was
shit.
like,
Shit.
so like I was going through a lot all at once when all of it happened. So for me, it took me longer to get to the trying to embrace and be happy and step out because I was like crazy in the beginning. Like crazy, like crazy.
You know what?
About everything because and my disease is really rare and
That's a lot.
I'm very high risk. Like
Right.
and I get it. Like if you're young, you're healthy, this maybe doesn't affect you the same way, but it affects me differently.
Definitely.
And I had to handle things very different than most people.
Right.
Like extra crazy. And then like poor Mark has to deal with my crazy on top of how he feels about leaving and coming back, and he's so afraid he's gonna get me sick. Like
And then
there was
there's-
just
and
a
then there's
lot
and then
going
my
on.
Crazy going on. With
Yeah, and then my
fucking
niece
depression.
had just moved in, like literally
I remember all
weeks
that.
before. Like
And now that you're
we had
saying it,
everything
that
happen
is a
all
lot
at
happening,
once.
like
All at once. It was a lot,
Like
but
we kept getting punched in the face with shit. Like it
Yeah.
didn't seem like it was gonna end.
And
listen.
it's getting better. Like now we're kind of like trying to get out of that like funk and that like
Yeah.
whatever. And that's what he was talking about. I grew a whole window garden. Like I'm
that
going.
was
I'm
my peace of
getting there.
mind.
Yeah, no.
Listen, this pandemic was crazy, right? I had to really figure out if I was a hustler or not.
Well, yeah,
And you proved to
got
be
closed
one.
down.
Yeah, she did.
Because the daycare shut down. Remember,
Yeah,
there was
for a
no
while,
daycares. There was
yeah.
only emergency daycares if you had parents that were essential workers, and you had to prove that they were essential workers.
Yeah.
Like they had no other option except this one place to send their child.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have parents that were home, none of that. Like they had to have legit proof that they needed childcare, right? So that was, I'm like, yo, I got 3 kids. I don't got no job right now.
It's
It's
crazy.
crazy.
Like, literally, right?
But
You're like, I went to having money to like being like, shit, is my savings got enough to get me through this?
So it's crazy because I don't remember when I did the episode, but on my show we had did the "If it don't make money, it don't make sense" show,
yep,
and
I
that
remember
shit woke me up.
Mm.
That was one of my favorite shows, and so if it wasn't for just doing the things that we talked about, I don't think I would have survived the pandemic.
Yeah,
because it was a lot of financial information
I bet.
that I was like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, ah. Like that. I was doing that in my head, not out loud. I promise.
No, I get it.
I mean, even if you were, who cares?
Right. Even if I was, I could have did that because, I could do that. It's me. I was a Mandarin. But that's another part. You're absolutely right. That was...
So, yeah, no, I mean, I think now, like I said, though, it's starting to, like... Now, I realized why I hate people so much more. Because, like, going out in public makes me so angry sometimes because people are just stupid.
Do you like animals?
Like, shut up.
Do
Panda and hippo.
you like animals? Have a panda bear. Do you like animals?
I do like animals.
Do you
My
like
bad.
them nice and squishy?
Yeah.
Oh my, for the love of fucking no.
But yeah, no.
Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you guys could have seen that because this is reason number 9001 why I never want fucking kids.
Stop it. They don't know what to do with themselves.
Fuck them kids.
They weren't built like us.
I don't care. It sounds like
They don't have to fend for
Amanda,
themselves.
Amanda, can you make a favor?
It's cute. I
Right
love
over
it.
there, behind the AutoZone bucket. Can you file that under not my problem?
I fucking can't.
Aggie.
I'll be that.
It's okay. It's cute. I love it. I don't mind it. I love feeling needed.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm with you though. Shut it all back down.
yes.
Shut it up.
Honestly, honestly, Odin, like I'm kind of with it because realistically, like I don't really go anywhere anyway. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't really like the people that I would like to still see the people I see. You know what I mean? But in terms of like the shit that's going on, fuck y'all. You know what I mean? Like the people I see, the people I talk to, I'm cool with.
Your bubble.
The
bubble.
The other piece I think people learned from the pandemic though too is like, I mean, for you always work at home because you have a work at home business.
Right. I've been doing this.
But like for people who were in offices and stuff, like
the transitions.
Their transitions, but like they are more productive. Like people are showing that it can be done, and a lot of companies are allowing people now to like be 3 days at home, 2 in the office, or 1 day in the office. And people were talking about just how much that like enhanced their life, not having to be up, crack ass at dawn to take the train to get into the city, to blah blah blah, all that shit being stuck in traffic. All you do is roll over. You don't even have to wear pants on the bottom.
Hold on. So the studies show that they're happier now because they're having more sex.
Well, yeah.
They had more sex. So people learned through the pandemic how to keep their relationship. If they lasted through the pandemic, they grew.
Yeah.
That shit was hard. Having to
you either got just
your
divorced or
your partner's shit and your kid's shit. If you lasted the pandemic with your relationship, cool fucking doze to you. If you still got kids that are breathing, cool fucking doze to you.
If you still got a job.
If you survived this far, cool fucking doze to you, because whether it had been mentally or physically, a lot of people haven't made it this far through this pandemic. And that's one thing that you could be grateful for at this moment in time as you're listening to this, because somebody else didn't.
Yeah, no, it's true.
And
no, it's very true.
Add on to the fact that a lot of people have been happier since they don't have to make the commute to work.
And don't have to deal with people.
Productivity has actually gone up.
Yeah.
People are just in a situation where they're like, I'm working somewhere that makes me comfortable. And to your point, Valkyrie, like, you don't have to even put on pants. Like to go do this shit. Like
I love online school. It's my favorite part of this whole thing.
You don't even gotta put on the bra sometimes.
Yeah.
Listen.
If you don't have to be on video, nope.
Listen, girl, no titties. Bra Tuesday? No bra to titty bra. No, titty Tuesday. No, it's no bra Wednesday. What is it?
I know Titty Tuesday's a thing.
I know Titty Tuesday's a thing too. I think there was a no bra Wednesday or no bra Friday or no bra day. On Zoom, you can have no bra day every day because you don't really gotta wear the fucking
Oh my
bra.
God, you hear about the dude who got caught getting head from while
On
he was
Zoom?
on Zoom.
What
Oh
an idiot.
my
How do you
God.
get caught
Live
though? Like,
on TV.
Oh my god.
But like, cause he was sitting there talking, he would look down. I was like, oh god. I was like, this nigga's really getting that. All right, we're off topic.
way off topic.
This has
But
been the
yeah.
Old Man Wade Show. I want to thank PandaGasms for coming in here. Tell everyone where
Boop,
they can find
boop,
you.
boop. You can find me anywhere. Google me, baby. No, so I'm kidding. So it's Panda, like the animal, Gasms, GASMS. It is like an orgasm by a panda, because that's pretty much what I give you.
You getting fucked by a panda.
You are with my voice. Like, people been telling me, like, you should do phone sex. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, you got the voice. I'm like, nah, I'm cool.
Give him a little
Anyway.
sexy, give him a little sexy PandaGasm. I love that she exhales like she's about like the plumbing just went in.
That was it. That was it.
that was it.
That was it. That's the when it first hits. That's that. There we go. There's your gasm.
Valkyrie, where can they find you?
Nowhere. I mean,
In her goddamn bed, where they
Right?
won't be looking because she ain't gonna let them in because she don't like people, only animals. So when they get there, if she allows it, it's gonna be me there. Poo-doo-poo, poo-doo-poo. Hey, you see how that goes back to me? Just kidding.
and she said Leo's.
Yeah. Y'all cancer motherfuckers.
I got
ain't-
Leo's
ain't
in
much
my
better.
chart. I have Leo in my chart.
I bet you do.
I do, and I think it's in my love. But anyway, that's another day.
Oh man, this has been the Old Man Wade Show. Thank you everybody for joining us. Until then, be kind and groovy to each other. Peace.
Damn it, Wade.